Wait, what? We're in draft? Okay. Iskava, thank you for Twitch Prime. We're gonna play some games after this. After this, I will go off, shower and eat, take a break, then come back later. Okay, so let's see it. So Kalista first pick, they're gonna pick Renata to deny Kalista Renata pairing. Oh, they're just gonna Javen. That would be interesting and cool. I like that. Yeah, nice. T1 has such good champion pool and players. They play so many stuff. It's very impressive.
Might have been able to set up objectives the way we've seen Maokai do. Really,
Maokai again.
Last year at Worlds, champion has been around for a while now. Now T1 can either try and secure owner his rel if he wants
Maokai is.
Poppy's another that we know.
Maokai is just not it, man.
Specifically,
I'm not a Maokai believer. I'm not a Maokai supporter. Champ is just indirectly nerfed.
There, it's really, really strong to be able to have that counter engage. You basically just have the more powerful version of that ultimate. Sen ult has some value for cross map as well, so definitely a strong angle and also a pretty good denial pick for some of the things that you might
Silas? Ooh, he's gonna blind Silas just for Maokai ult or what? Kinda risky. I guess he doesn't care. I think Brad is still broken. Yeah, I do.
But T1 gonna try and make sure that Faker.
There's a high chance Rel gets banned here by WBG on 4 or 5. Very high chance.
Was still incredible.
Salas Triflex? No, it just goes mid.
The Sejuani will
Pretty
still
sure.
be up and available though, and Permafrost value alongside a Silas in the mid lane can definitely be very, very scary, augmented by Zeus picking up something pretty strong, bruisery on the top side.
Exactly, and almost guaranteed you think Zeus is going to play one of those types of champions. Is going to be an Aatrox, Orione, or something along those lines. That could be a strong pairing, so it's tough. I am almost more afraid of the Sejuani from this point, even though I associate owners much more with the Rel.
Pick your poison, and they said no. We'd prefer not to. That can be up to owner if he would like, and so we'll see.
Score prediction 3-0 T1.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting choice. I mean, I think if they go Sejuani,
Cassandra Jay's ban, Popillon ban.
Instead, it's going to be the
Okay.
Nocturne. So
No Rel ban. I expect T1 to pick Rel here on 4.
Side lanes, potentially, you're worried about some sort of side lane picks, some ability to.
There's just going to be a Rel on 4.
That difficult. And
Nocturne.
also, if you have a flanking pick coming in from Zeus, some
What?
sort of side buddy there
Okay.
alongside Faker and Guma, or excuse me, an owner, it could be really tough because you can turn off the lights, throw the stolen Maokai ult, and then potentially have Zeus coming in on the flank.
And for Weibo, I think one of the consistent issues is that you want to try and get
Interesting.
a strong lane, which they did, even though obviously the Renata and the Draven are quite strong. But it means that then you have to deal with Zeus getting counter pick, right? And
Aatrox again, but this time with Yon ban.
We'll see what else he can bring.
It's just Jax, no? For Zeus? Isn't it just Jax? Man, Faker is so happy he gets to play into Ahri. One of the easier Salas matchups.
Yeah, Yeah, so the Ari is going to be locked in. Is that an insta-lock? Okay, there we go.
I feel like you're so
the
happy
Gwen's
if you're
gonna be
Faker
locked in
here.
For Zeus, something that has been picked into him in the past, but I won't talk about it too much. If you are a T1 fan, I imagine that is
Gwen?
going to
Wait,
cause
really,
some pain,
Gwen?
but this
I
is
thought it's gonna
really
be
fun. Zeus really fighting fire
Chucks.
with fire there towards that top side once again into the Shy's Aatrox.
It's going to be interesting. We haven't really seen Gwen do that well at Worlds, to be honest, because it's one of these picks that takes a long time to turn online. And I feel like you've even seen Zeus play the opposite in this matchup, where he's going for the lethality build on Aatrox and really kind of has earlier and more powerful power spikes, because this Gwen is going to need a couple items before you really start to outshine what the Aatrox can do. That being said, if they can get to that point, T1 has an incredible 1-3-1. They really can attack those side lanes so heavily with the Nocturne as well, and you do have that flanking top laner that I was talking about as the final
I woke
piece.
up late. I love how some people are waking up now.
Takeover.
Already
You have
missed
the
one game.
Nocturnal, you have a flanking Gwen. All of this being thrown at you with the lights turned off is so hard to deal with.
And my expectation as well is that with a lot of attention should go again towards the bot lane. We'll see how the Shy can recuperate after a pretty rough game one.
Exactly right, but fist bumps have come out between our coaches. It is time to get onto the Rift for game number 2. There is match point on the line for T1, and Weibo could bring us to a best of 3 here at Worlds 2023. And I think everyone is aligned in just wanting as many games as possible here in this final. The last
next
couple of
game.
years have been pretty good as far as games in the finals are concerned. And so hopefully they can bring us to one of those, even if it could bring some heart attacks here to the Gochok Skydome. I imagine that it could be a difficult time.
Yeah, since 2018, it's only gotten better, right? We got 2 free zeros, that's not so great, a free 1, and then back-to-back free 2s.
Yeah.
And those are the most fun and stressful.
Certainly the most stressful and the most fun. Chronically, you're exactly right. And here we are into game number 2. Weibo gathering up towards this bottom side. And T1 not going to be walking too close to where all 5 members will
Time
be.
for the game to
So,
start.
nothing to worry about too much. And you guys,
Timer is on.
You can log into your Riot account on lolesports.com and watch
First
those
strike,
glorious
Xiaohu with
exclusive
Fleet
words,
Ari.
emotes, and icons.
Huh. Interesting.
And
Fleet
see
Ari.
whether Weibo
With longsword.
are going to be flexing any of those.
Wait a
in
second.
the game.
And you can see that
Wait
side
a
lane
second.
war
He's
here
not buying
from
static
Weibo,
shield,
trying
right?
to maintain side lane advantage. They have to be winning out in this 2v2.
Wait
They
a
need to
second.
utilize that Callista to be the one stacking dragons much
Is he
better
going
than one.
Triforce Ari?
But T1 did take the time. Zeus went in, got that deep ward. So
Is it Triforce Ari?
Where Weiwei is going to be starting, is going to be looking for this top towards bot clear, because it's going to be this classic
Competing
Weibo
gun
playstyle that we
for
have seen
Kyria.
so much of at Worlds. Focus towards bot with the Callista. You have to have it.
Also have both junglers pathing towards the bot side of the map, but obviously Weiwei going to be way stronger early on Owner, mainly looking to cover in case they do see Weiwei show up in the bot side. Do note that they do have a ward on his blue, so the T1 bot lane is
Oh,
very aware as well.
Gumayushi.
Already out from Gumayushi. His lights relatively low as well, but that is definitely a
T1's
trade
actually
that
losing
goes
bot lane this
incredibly
game.
well here for Weibo. Zeus also taking a fair bit of damage towards this top side. Weibo Gaming, they are not backing down yet.
Yeah, it's getting spicy here early on. Chris trades out his heal, but they get the flash off Guma, the ignite off Keria. Light pretty low.
This
as
is not
well,
an
but
easy
they can
matchup
push
for
us in.
Salas,
Potentially
especially
look to
now
reset, and
when she
maybe
goes
if Weiwei
Fleet
is coming
longsword.
down here, set
You can
themselves up
see
in a great
Xiaohu
position,
has
but look at
perfect
Owner
CS
looking
already
for
in
this
Fakers.
wraparound here.
Struggling a
Xiaohu
bit in
might
lane.
walk it out, but we'll see if he's forced to use the summoner.
He doesn't have to flash.
There's the flash chain that is
Okay, he
getting
does
flash out
have
from
to.
Xiaohu. Zoner is going to back away. We'll have his
He knows how to flash now when Faker
Not worried
flashes.
about any charms or anything like that.
It is kind of a repeat of what happened in mid lane last time, though, and then Faker was the one punished by Weiwei with that missing summoner. So we'll
Weiwei
have to
gets
see if Weiwei can get
everything.
around mid lane and help Xiaohu out again.
Big difference this time around is that Owner doesn't actually have Prio in his bot side. Last time, could go very aggressive because of Zeus having the Prio. Not going to be the case here, and you see as well, he wants to harass, but he needs to respect that Light and Crisp have shoved in that ball wave and can rotate over at any moment's notice, and falling behind...
Jungle walks back to his jungle.
Exactly.
Okay,
Owner
can keep
spent the time
clearing.
to do that, so he's only completed the 3 camps.
Guma
Weiwei
usually had
is
to base
about 2
already.
camps ahead now at this point as he's gonna finish up
WBG
the
actually
top
winning
before
bot
they're
lane this
complete
game,
there,
which is
so
going to
we'll have a
change the
little bit more
dynamic
tempo on
of
the
how
map.
teams play
Light just
quite
gonna
hard.
take this early recall here as they've bounced the wave on bot side. Chris making sure there's no sort of a freeze going on, because Guma had to take a super early base and a horrible buy.
Rough
as
start
all
for
he was
T1
able to get
bot
was
lane.
the refillable on that first base, so Guma's going to be in a
Very
pretty
rough
tough
start.
spot when you compare with what Light has on the other side.
Yeah, it looks like Light pretty happy.
Zeus is
to
doing
go
quite well in
towards the
lane.
ballista that was so incredibly effective for T1 in the last game. And once again,
Actually,
it's a
no, top
composition
is
from
even.
T1 that, like we've been talking about, does want to have these advantages around the map, does want to get towards these Drakes, trying to play for these side lanes, because if you don't have that tempo advantage, things can go wrong. As the Shy
Ooh, top
does
lane?
take a bit of damage here from Zeus, but just
Both
some
getting
tempo
kinda
back and
low.
forth between the two top laners, and both of these
The
champions
Shy has a
having
bit more
fair bit of
sustain with D-Shield.
That's
so
a good,
it should be alright.
yeah, good adaptation as well from Weibo. Instead of opting in the Silas ban, they make sure that the Ashe is taken away. I think Ashe in particular can make any Kalista lane really hard to play out. And by making sure that you also deny it to Guma and Carrier, who can flex it. Don't know if they actually want to opt into that, but have done it, of course, in the past. Secure yourself a good early matchup. And we'll see if they're able to.
They're gonna look to gank Zeus here. He has a huge wave.
The Draven could be big as Weiwei.
Yeah, Ward is here as well. Zeus going to be
Ghosting.
immediately. There's a twisted advance.
He's-
Zeus does create some space though.
he's
Ground
fine.
Smash pushes him closer to
Oh,
home.
but not the best for the Shy. He couldn't freeze. He couldn't freeze. Some minions walked into tower.
And nicely
Maybe
timed
he's
on the
freezing,
front
but
side
some
there
of the
from
minions
Zeus.
definitely
Optimus
died to
early
tower.
has the E buffered as the Swiss advance
'Cause he
comes
went
through.
forward.
So he ends up on the opposite side of Weiwei, so the Bramble Smash can't knock him back, and now Owner on the invade here, trying to put on some pressure again.
Oh, that's a really high value vision cone there for Weiwei.
Owner gonna try to force a ground
And
fight.
look at the pickaxe advantage.
It's gonna
So
come
there's
down
no
to a
way that Weiwei
50-50
can fight.
smite.
He isn't
Maokai
based
has
yet.
Q
Owner
smite,
did
but
go back to base, has
will he
that
walk into
additional
range? It
AD,
doesn't look like it.
And Weiwei knows he can't win that.
Yeah, and the whole
Okay.
time Faker is backing towards that
Owner
top
just
side
gets
as
it.
well, and so they know they can't go and contest that Gromp. It should mean that Owner can collect himself this Wolf Camp as
Okay,
well. So the
Wolf
advantages
Camp
in the
as well.
jungle are
Nice for
continuing to
Owner.
blossom here for T1, but on the bottom side of the
If he
map,
does a
Light
full clear,
still
he's gonna
holding
get
that
6
advantage.
now.
Yeah, it's big there for T1.
If he just does a full clear
chose
now.
what was a really rough play against
He's gonna get a pretty
Zeus
decent
into
fast
a really
early
big win. He immediately
6
teleports
on
back,
jungle.
is able to get Prio. The Shy hasn't had a window yet, and they use that to get Owner faster to his level 6, with him now having a CS lead.
And something we haven't talked about at all, it's going to be AD Ari, because he is playing Fleet Footwork and he has the Kerchi's Shard. So
Oh, yeah.
I think it is going to be Static Shift Rush. I think this is going to be AD Ari. We've seen quite a lot of this online. This is kind of the new evolution of what we were seeing with AD LeBlanc and that sort of style. I'm not sure if he is going to go like full on AD on hit or more just that similar build where you go Shiv into Lichbane and play the Night Harvester as well. That's the most common one I've been seeing online. But obviously trying to be able to...
He's actually going ADR because he's also maxing W.
This range versus melee
Unironically.
matchup into Faker. So it's a very different style of Ari than we just saw. And I'm excited to see it because I think this is the first pro game that I can recall seeing it in.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either. So interested to see what Xiaohu is going to be able to get done on this version of the Ari. And I have to have a feel that the Ari
Weibo will get Dragon.
should be better in lane against Faker. as
This
well.
Jake is more useful than
Really
it was
need
for
to
T1
land as
last
many
game.
spells if you just
Because at
right
least
click.
in
I like that
Weibo's
idea.
Weibo's
But
team
Weibo
comp,
going
they
to
actually
grab
have
themselves
champions
the
that
first
use
strike.
healing.
Should mean the scuttle
So
here
the
is up.
amplified
Weibo is
healing
getting
from
double
this
teamed
Dragon
on.
actually does
They are
matter a
going
little
to be
bit.
able to grab this off the back of
And the
their
same
very,
goes
very,
for,
very
I mean,
supreme
yeah.
control of this bottom lane.
Yeah, this all goes back to the level 1. Light and
Why can't we see
Chris
the game?
playing it
Don't
out
have
early on
permissions.
Very, very well. And one of the things that we haven't really
Not
talked
much
about
really
yet,
to say so far. I mean, this early game is just gonna be super slow, sadly. Top lane gank?
Yeah, Zeus dashing forward. The needlework is out. Snip, snip. Going to connect, but doesn't do too much. And in goes Ona. The flash. Oh!
No.
The Shy. Ona gets taken.
No shot.
About 1 health, but will be able to walk away. But I don't think he's going to be excited about getting
God
the Shy
damn.
anytime soon. Although Zeus is
Oh, the Shy.
just not fair.
That is
The Shy.
Isolated the massive outplay into the overstay. He has the 1v2. He likes his odds in the 1v1, and that is such a costly death because he has no TP, gives up first blood with 2 stacked waves at his tower. That is catastrophic.
Oh, so close. He almost got Nocturne under tower.
So initially he outplays it, gets the Q while dashing back, denies the fair, and then he goes back in. Not only is it Zeus getting a kill, which in this snowbally matchup is extremely rough, but it also means that Owner's first ult was a success. The first ult on Nocturne is so big, he gets his early Ultimate Hunter stack, he gets a ton of assist golds, and that was an unforced error.
Yeah, I mean, he eat in, right? You could just stay at your tower and farm it up. He didn't want to lose the wave, but he's the one who goes aggressive. Now he's going to get zoned off the bot wave, so T1 punishing so heavily.
Flash?
Yeah, the flash forward from
Can
Carrier.
Kyria land the Q? He did land it. Wow.
Infernal chains come in. He's
Shy is
right on
dead.
fire. He's big.
Stacks to Draven. 438 gold.
The Shy getting way down in this game now as Weibo have their bot lane up top.
Damn, huge lead for
This will not
T1.
be an easy dive here. He is healthy and he's got the ultimate back. They're going to look for it though.
Yeah, we'll see what he can get done here. The flash twisted advance comes.
Oh,
in.
Zeus.
Do what he can to stay alive.
Zeus. He's gonna die. He's gonna
Towards the
die.
minions now. Baker turns up. He's got his own nature's grasp, but Shahu is going to join this one, and Zeus is
He's
running
gonna
the
die.
wrong direction. We'll see how much
He's gonna stall
he's gonna be
time.
able to buy here, because
Try to
maybe
force an
this is
execute.
an execute as he heads toward the turret, and there it is.
Oh!
Oh my
Really?
God. Everything is going T1's way. It's the Shy.
Wow.
Shows up in his third lane. Top lane didn't work. Bot lane's not working. Hey, let's check out mid
Wow,
lane.
wow, wow, wow,
A
wow.
little bit better here, as you can see Ona walks
Ari's inventory? Okay. So, okay, now it makes sense what build Ari is going. Ari is going the build where you go Kircher, Shard and Fleet, so you have a strong laning phase, but then you transition into AP. So it's like in lane you're a bit AD, and you're abusing Fleet with Kircher Shard, but then you transition into just normal AP. That's the build he's going for.
And then try to play from there, but they try to get more, and it backfires.
And I think they're feeling a little bit of that sense of
Faker's
desperation.
even,
You lose
yeah, so
game
Faker's
one,
happy.
Things start going bad in game two. You feel that you
That's
need to
also a
get
build
even
Showmaker
more.
was doing on
But
LeBlanc,
T1
for
is
example,
such
after
an
the
incredible
nerfs of
spot here
LeBlanc
now, and
came
that kill
in.
for the Draven was so critical because Draven from behind is such a weak champion, but when you're able to snowball, it can really be a different story. And he's now 300-400 gold ahead of his opponent.
Yep, exactly right. And okay,
Featured
Faker diving
matchup.
in here towards Shahu. Of course, this is our featured matchup, thanks to Mercedes-Benz. And some scuffle, but not too much more than that. We are just going to back away. So I got a little bit overexcited. That is fine. Carrier going to be snared here for a moment. Skumushi down here, like you say, with that extra money. But his Draven didn't work out for him. Last time he played it, of course, in the finals against Gen G. Hasn't played it this tournament yet, though, and this is one of his favorites.
And next comes the setup for the Ocean Drake. Weibo already picked one up early, and with the Kalista, I really want to try and opt into this. We haven't really talked about the scaling aspect between these two teams. I think that both teams have some parts that feel like they scale really well, particularly the Senna. And I think that Maokai remains very high in value just by the virtue of his ultimate. But on the flip side, particularly with Zeus already getting ahead and Owner starting to stack his ultimate Hunter, if Weibo don't snowball objectives early, I think it's going to be such a nightmare trying to play into this T1, because they can get so much in the side, and collapsing becomes really hard because of the Nocturne.
Okay.
And the build from Shahu, I'm finding a little bit confusing because he did start with the Kerchi Shard, and now he's going into what looks like a Leandry's here.
So I
Drake
like
20.
instead we've backed
What
off
is the
that 5
why
minutes or so.
I
has
think
Shield
we've seen this
deblade in
before.
his
It reminds
inventory?
me of what Showmaker used to do. I think it was LeBlanc, it might have been Ari
Huh?
versus Galio, where you go fleet
Just
and
laning.
early AD just
Talking about-
have an extra edge in lane.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of gold that you invest.
Oh,
and
why does the
as you
Shy
can
have
see,
deep blade D-shield?
Faker, not even
Well,
taking into account first strike gold, has
You go
been able
D-shield
to
early
stay
game because it's
on
kind of
parity
like you're
on the
weak, but then
sides.
you also buy
Absolutely, it's gonna make
D-blade,
it that much more difficult when you're
so
talking
you have a
about
bit
in
of
the
a spike.
5v5s.
Obviously the
Dealing
downside
with
of the
the-
build is
dealing
that
with some of these
you
champions
delay
with
your
backlog,
first item
he's gonna be trying to burst
by
down.
450
That
gold.
job becomes that much harder when you don't have the extra electrocute damage. When you
What's
don't
Ari
have
building?
that
Leandre, I
early
think.
mythic completion. But it is going to be Weibo taking the second dragon here. We know it's not going to be a Chemtech soul, so it should be a good one.
Yeah, and it's also going to be a teleport in T1, not wanting to give this one up as Faker
Oh,
turns up.
they get the
Nature's
Drake.
Grasp
Can they
again,
disengage?
takeover, chasing Weiwei, but just dissipates.
That Renata
before
ult
he
is
gets
kind of
there.
useless.
Once again, it's going to be a Cloud
Hey.
Soul. Love to see it. I could imagine that Weiwei is pretty upset about that. But remember, we're taking the Drake for water's sake. And there's a fight towards this top side. The Shy taken down to about 50%
Zeus.
health. He's trying to avoid the potential needlework.
Okay.
There were none more remaining, and Zeus is going to back
So has
away.
to
But
disengage.
remember,
Not enough
we've teamed
damage.
up with Amazon Web Services for a new campaign called Take the Drake for Water's Sake. For every ocean Drake taken, AWS will make a donation to water.org. That Drake was the 47th ocean Drake slain since Worlds 2023 Swiss stage.
And we can have it both ways. We get the Ocean Drake and still a Cloud Soul.
I know, isn't it glorious?
It's beautiful.
That's absolutely fantastic. We've washed off the Chemtech with the
Game is very slow.
It's now windy.
Now we're
Yeah.
enjoying ourselves.
Waiting for something to
Just
happen.
fantastic.
Well, and Zeus from this far ahead of the shy.
Wait, ability videos
also
got
will be
posted.
terrifying if he's gonna be able to
Reading
get that.
after the
He's so good
game.
on Gwen. Weibo are pushing heavily on
They
bot
need
side.
to
The Shy
remake
wants
Cloud
something
Soul
he
is so
can do
boring.
again.
This is the second Cloud Soul of
Gets
the
slow
day.
chain lash is going to come down as well.
Okay, Faker.
Did invest his stolen ultimate there. I believe it's
Not
probably
sure.
timing out
Shouldn't take
relatively
tower
soon.
shots.
Trying to get some
Whatever.
value as in goes Owner.
Ult
Finds the
onto.
paranoia, but you can see the
The Shy has
all
to
right.
flash.
Gets a cheeky
The
little
Shy is
shield
so
over the
useless
shadow,
right now. He only
but
has
not
Merc's
wanting to
money.
leave it up to chance.
He has
This
no
Aatrox is
items.
gonna have
He's
such a
very
tough
useless.
time. He is going for the lethality build, and he's doing it from
Shouldn't the Shy have
very
top
far
A?
behind. You know,
I think
closing
both
in on
Mercs and
DPS
top A are kinda meh
deficit,
here.
he is gonna be obviously able to pick
So
up
Mercs
some
have no value in
to even that out
tenacity
a
because
little
there's
bit, but
nothing
the
you're
additional
Mercsing.
kills also in
You only
Zeus'
get
pocket.
MR from
And
it.
this is a matchup
And
where
top
after
A,
Gwen, when you
it's
get
only
through those
decent
earlier stages, you
into
can outscale. When you're getting towards multiple
Draven
lanes, it
and
just
a
kinda
little
gets
bit
better for
Nocturne,
you.
but not
So
really.
the Shy is gonna have
Doesn't
to
really
turn
do
in
much into
incredible
Gwen
performance, and we can see in the
or
MasterCard lane
Sylas.
economy snapshot, it is heavily favored towards Zeus, who had a really good game one and is set up for success here in game two.
And I tell you what, if you're a Zeus fan, you're feeling absolutely fantastic that he's having this kind of performance in a final. Because these have been the times where he has crumbled in the past, and so far it's been back-to-back games where he is the guy.
And this has been the story for this T1 roster. You know, they have been so close. so
Draven
many
has
times.
Shy first.
4 times they have lost in an international game.
Does T1
5
wanna contest
and
this?
Not been able to claim that big title they've been chasing, but Zeus showing up so
Oh,
far.
they do.
Another teleport to
TP coming in. Mark is gonna have to ult, I think.
We'll see whether Weibo can get themselves out of here. Light gonna be hostile takeover.
Not the best. Renata ult. Draven is kinda losing HP. The Shy just dies. Now the fight for blue.
And Weibo gonna be happy that
I
they
mean,
at the
this
very
is like
least they
okay
did
for
get the
Weibo.
Herald, but they did have
They
to
lose like
invest
the
a
member
lot.
who died a lot
Teleport
already
used
anyway.
by T1, but outside of that, and Gumayushi's plans not too much look on the other end.
But
No
the Herald
flash
is
for
also
Weibo,
kinda useless
no
at the
flash
same
for
time,
Light.
so.
Those are gonna be big cooldowns in the possible fight for Soul Point.
I just think the
But
Shy is
Weibo
gonna be so
was gonna
useless
be
this
looking
game.
for in about 2 minutes.
That stolen Maokai ult from Faker got
It's gonna be so
incredible
useless.
value. Weibo was kind of panicking. They had to make a run for it here. And Weibo are able to secure it, but it's Faker on such a good angle, coming in from the top of your screen, able to find this stolen Maokai ult. Weibo uses his to just try to disengage the hostile takeover, but look at the angle here from Faker. Everyone from Weibo sent packing. They're trying to line up to avoid it, but the flashes have to be used.
And that is with Zhao, who doing so much heavy lifting. Keeps Keria and Guma out of the fight. Keria was also unable to hit anyone, and he's giving me really big barrel energy with the amount of things that haven't been able to hit. But even with that, because Zeus is already accelerated and Owner and Faker are there with him, T1 is still able to push their lead aggressively and get more gold onto their carries.
And similar to how we saw last game, Zay is building. He's building more towards that side lane. He's going to be going.
Couldn't T1 contest earlier? They need the comp needs more time. They can definitely contest at any stage of the game. Ari sold items. Yeah. Apparently Ari sold the item.
As long as Owner is there to back
I don't know what he's cooking, I'm gonna be honest. He's actually dead, by the way. Oh no, he's not, he has ult.
And that is going to do it. Dawning Shadow does fly forward there as well. And once again, they just have to get out. And
I have no idea what the guy's
Owner
cooking.
even use the ultimate?
No, and that's gonna
It's a
be
bit strange.
the
His
fight
build,
for T1 looking
selling
way
Kitchen
better,
short.
Right, in 25 seconds till the Drake spawns, and now Crisp doesn't have his ultimate, and neither does Xiaohu.
It's going to be really tough, and the flashes aren't going to be up either. You look at Light, he's not going to have his flash. He doesn't even have his cleanse yet. This feels like a really tough one for them to fight, and Zeus is going to be able to knock down this turret on the bot side to get even
Turret's
more
just
golden
gone on bot.
Snip, 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 and down goes the turret. That is the first
Drake
one
is
of
up,
the
though.
game. He is looking completely unanswerable. He
Zeus
is
is
so
not
far
pushing the
ahead.
bot wave, he's
Majority
just
of
leaving
metrics
it and
right
going
now,
mid.
As the Rift Herald is going to park itself in the mid lane immediately, that turret bot lane should be answered, and there goes the charge. So T1 are going to lose one, and the more important one, you'd have to say. But still, I mean, who's going to do
Okay,
stuff
now
like
he
this?
goes bot and pushes bot.
the lady
No,
with the
and
scissors.
it's also Zeus getting that turret, the nice first turret, which would be some much needed gold for Weibo. Now they're going to try and contest the Drake with very little vision.
Well, Zeus on a flank
They have to
angle
know.
here as well. Crisp going to be spotted.
Okay, here we go.
Down. That is going to get there. The Drake going down very, very low, and now the
Faker with a nice flank.
looks for the spear rush, and he does find the
Oh, nice! One shot the Kalista!
immediately. Weiwei taken down for the double kill.
Renata's dead
Shadow
too.
now trying to get some damage in the back end. It does take down the Nocturne, but it's Chris fighting on the bottom side of the map.
They're all dead.
It's gonna
Gumayushi another passive kill.
And it's
That's
T1
gold.
winning everywhere. The fight breaks down into multiple skirmishes, and they outplay.
Wow, the
they
Shy is
outfight,
getting
They get all the kills. It is
gapped this
7
series
to
so far.
1. They're gonna take the dragon. The only thing that was working for Weibo. in
3-0.
this game.
I literally called it, guys. I literally said 3-0. It's like the finals was T1 JDG. That was the finals of the tournament.
And there are a couple of key ultimates that aren't there, right? You don't
What
have
ult did Salah still? Ari.
rather the,
Still Ari ult.
Senna ult.
Right there.
Such a
Then he
good
went
defensive
in,
cooldown.
killed Kalista, and then he chased off Renata. Senna, I mean.
The hostile takeover comes across everything all at once, and it's so difficult for Weibo to be able to effectively communicate how to play out this team fight. So everyone scatters, they're all flashing, every man for themselves. And when you go into that kind of fight against T1 with this composition, you are sure
Oh,
to
Faker's not
always
maxing
lose.
W in Silas? That's really weird, guys. Twitch had told me how to max W in Silas or the champ is useless. I wonder how that works.
Because something that has been difficult for a lot of our Renata players to deal with is getting in the right positions to get that ultimate off without as much notice, right? Because it's relatively telegraphed. But if the lights are all off and then this wave comes across you, it's not a lot of reaction time to deal with that if everything else is going on as well.
Additionally, Guma was able to pick up another kill. So this Draven is by no means the main carry of T1. But now Zeus is fed, Guma is fed, and Owner is fed. So they might get a catch here, not going to find carry out. But there's so much that you need to deal with.
Exactly right. And just quickly, win
I think
probability
we're
powered
kinda
by
in a
AWS
stalemate again now.
definitely starting to trend towards
Lose state.
T1.
Even though Barn is up, it's just way too early into the game for T1 to start Barn. Their comp just doesn't do enough damage and loses too much HP tanking. So we just have to wait.
Claw some of that back. It is only a 4,000 gold lead here for T1 so far. Definitely surmountable.
And while we haven't talked as much about this Draven, and you said it, he's been getting these kills. He's actually the richest member on T1. He's the richest person in the game now at this point, which is kind of crazy.
This is a 3-0 war, this is kind of boring.
This early game started. He has been
Finals
cashing
almost
in.
always
Weibo
3-0 at worst.
something here.
Here's another one, the Nature's Grasp. They all line up behind, but it's a decent chance to come through their hostile takeover.
Okay.
But some phenomenal disengagement.
The Renata ult is not too bad,
What to do
but
with it? Faker dashes over the wall. Remember, they don't have a turret here.
nice sidestep into
He's
charm.
going to split them. Carrier tries to get
Oh!
he goes forward and makes
Xena!
thinks that that's his moment. It's a
What? Does Owner leave? Oh my god, Owner leaves, Owner leaves.
coming in from Carrier to make sure
Everything is just going right for the T1's way.
Try to get something, and initially the play looks good, but I think the sidestep from Carrier there, he doesn't get caught, and with Renata alive,
Everything is going right for T1, man. Everything.
The Shy was rotating over. Say is just back.
It's just 3-0.
Yeah, Zeus isn't even here. They decide, hey, we gotta go now. We're
It's just
falling
3-0,
behind.
man.
The initial play looks good as Owner gets chunked down so incredibly low. Shahu flying in, but this is the sidestep that you're talking about right here as Shahu goes for it with the last charge there. Both Guma and Carrier, beautiful sidestep, and then Crisp gets thrown in, but it's a flash out from Guma, it's a turn, and it is the one shot from the Draven.
And the one shot from the Nocturne as well, using himself as a bullet into that backline and secures the kill on to Xiao, who also the Dustbringer, I believe, got the kill in the first place. So this Nocturne
Zero.
is just massive.
0-0 on
It
both
is, again,
sides.
also a testament to how powerful Renata is. Owner can go for these mega aggressive plays, knowing that as long as he kills his target, he will be able to be bailed out by the rest of his team.
And honestly, even if he dies from this position, because
Yeah,
the carries are so
Ari is going Leech
it's gonna be
Bane.
worth it, right? As long as you are creating
Bro,
space
what
for Guma,
is
for
this
Zeus, for
build?
Faker,
Timer
even if it is
stopped?
that
Yeah, my
one-way
bad.
trip here for
There you
the
go.
Nocturne, it's gonna be such a
What
value play as
is
long as they
he
can follow up.
building
T1 have been on the
this
same
whole
page.
game
Weibo
today?
seem like their only answer is just forcing more and more fights. You can't win side lane. You can't win 5v5. Your objective.
what is he actually
has been
building?
stopped. It is getting close to checkmate in game number 2.
It's really hard as well.
I don't
considering
get it.
The fact that T1 had already built themselves a 1-3-1 composition. There is no comp in the game that is more just win more.
Let
right?
him
Because
cook.
you have win conditions
It's
to
not
build
even
upon
cooking.
themselves with a
Cosmic,
composition
it's
like
bad.
this, where Zeus and Faker can get
I mean,
control of
Cosmic,
these
yeah,
side
it's not
lanes
that
all
good,
game
Imo.
long. Tempo, something that Weibo is gonna have to
Okay, I'll accept
really,
Cosmic.
really
If
muscle.
it's, I'll accept Cosmic
That is
over
a
Leech
bit
Bane.
of item in advantage. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the Shy shows up to a team fight, he is going to have to be absolutely perfect to get anything done because you are so squishy. If you can't get that first kill for the Dustblade proc to be able to survive, you are going to be patient.
Cosmic
because
is
one
fine.
little CC
Lich
hits
Bane is
you,
not. I
he's
thought it
gonna
was
kill
Lich
you
Bane.
instantaneously. He's got 0 armor. He's got 0 HP purchased. So this Aatrox
Dust
is
Blade
really
Aatrox.
scary.
Bro, how useless is Aatrox this game? Tell me top gap isn't like so massive.
And even with them setting
Top
up
gap
for
is
deficits,
bigger than game
the
1,
main
by
issue
the
is
way,
just
this game.
the other lanes.
It's actually
T1
bigger.
has been able to get the counter pick towards top side twice, and Weibo, you gotta imagine if T1 is able to play it out from here, have to try something else because this blind Aatrox, even when protected with bans, just isn't working out.
And I think we have to talk
Okay, it's
about the
Cosmic.
journey that Owner has had. You know, he is one of the players that has been so criticized throughout this year. And how good has he been in this series? How good has he been at Worlds?
And this whole tournament, exactly, and on tanks normally, right? But this Nocturne performance, he is playing reserved. He is going in at the right times. This is an Owner that is playing extraordinarily well.
And it also goes back to when Owner initially...
Have you guys noticed that Owner's name is not fully on the broadcast? Is it just me?
Carry style as we get a charm.
Yeah, Faker is going to break it. Oh no, he uses it.
If you look at his
Distance back.
icon,
But never mind, nothing too much more going to happen. T1 with the opportunity.
his name above the icon. I feel like the text is slightly off on the R,
Going to start with the second.
right?
Exactly. When you talk about the comfort and the ability to go towards things like Lee Sin, I think that has been.
What does
somewhat
Kalista have? 2
indicative of
assists?
What T1 have wanted to
We should
do
pick
here
them
at
up.
Worlds, and the
Okay,
metagamers that
second
they
Drake
have
for
brought in
T1,
as
but
Owner
it's
being
they're
able to
nowhere
provide
near solo, so it doesn't really matter. This is just more of a takeaway from enemy team.
As Weibo just regrouping once again, spotting out the members of T1 moving back from that Drake. And now moving towards the Baron pit. It is 25 minutes into the game, and T1 hasn't gone for a Baron just yet. You can see that they have changed a little bit.
Very reserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They've really
you're saying
matured,
Kalista has
you
2
know?
kills, 2 assists, but there's only 1 kill. Yeah, that's a scoreboard bug.
This is not my T1.
That's a
Because they were
scoreboard
near
bug.
Baron pit, though, they have remembered.
counts,
So
it
I
counts.
imagine we're going to be playing around that now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say it counts as them starting and you're just walking by,
No,
saying hi to an old
Yeah.
friend.
No, I don't think that that's necessarily how it works.
But it's just been so fun to watch T1 because they have been on the forefront of these meta shifts, right? You know, Keria, when it was this double 80 carry meta in the bot
No
lane, he
boots
was
Draven. I have no
being
idea
able to
why
move
he doesn't
that
have
back,
boots.
being
I'm
able
gonna
to
be
have
honest, I
Owner
have
Lee
no
Sin,
idea.
Luma
That's really
here
strange to see.
on this Draven, being able
Like
to
at
see
least
these
tier 1
dynamics
boots.
and their comfort
If
is
he has no
what
tier
will
2 boots, I get it.
Once again, as the flash out from the Shy may not be enough. They're
Oh,
under the
the
turret.
Shy.
Get it up. And
Or
Zaya's gonna
like
finish it. Inner turret should now be next on the clock.
the dead.
Because the rest of T1 is standing guard, Weibo can't try and turn the fact that Owner is towards bot into a Baron, so they just have to watch their teammate get
Wow.
through Merc Treads and a,
The fraud.
a Hex Drinker as well.
Yeah, and teleport's
The
still
fraud.
available, so it was only ever going to be a
Look
30,
at gold
40.
gap, 5k
It is a
gold.
4,000 gold
Gap
lead
in
top
top lane.
Almost 4,500 gold in top lane. That is just ridiculous now at this point. This lead for Zayas is becoming just a nightmare for them to deal with. He has the Cosmic Drive finish now. He's so far ahead of the pace of this game that no one can answer him, and it just felt bad for Crisp. Every time he popping a Senna ult, it's just been to watch his teammate die.
And he doesn't even get to watch because the
No.
lights are out.
He doesn't even get to... that's why would you have to remind me?
I know, it's very cruel.
That's painful.
I'm still remembering back to the Shy outplaying a 1v2
And then, yeah.
and then walking back into the 1v1. As
Ooh,
Owner
Owner.
is going to get charmed. It's a decent amount of damage, but he is very far ahead.
Stop yawning.
Wander his way out.
And the problem for me
Fuck.
now is that reactively, the Weibo comp, individually they can pick off very well, but if you don't get to the objective first, it becomes very hard to contest, and right now that's not the case.
Baron started by T1. Weibo walking it in with Maoka ult, Renata counter engage. Such a good ult to counter engage. And now they have Maoka ult themselves. Senna is just dying in CC. The Zeus is untouchable. Literally nobody, and I mean nobody from Weibo's comp can even touch this Gwen when she has W on. Faker actually almost dies. This fight is looking a little bit saucy, but and nobody dies.
Truly is immune. Zayas doesn't care, dives into multiple people. And
Nobody
uses
dies.
his lead very aggressively, and this is where I think you
Guma
really
Yushi
see
still no
the goal
boots.
difference.
Refuses
Weibo
to buy
got close in a
boots.
couple of
Just
situations, get some
refuses.
health bars low, and if they had items that might have been enough, but instead they just
How
have
to play
watch
Javen
T1
in
work it off.
competitive.
The only thing
Buy no
invested
boots.
is a flash and a stopwatch from Faker.
Exactly, and Weiwei just can't actually close the gap to even contest the Baron because the hostile takeover comes through, then the stolen Maokai ult comes through. By the time he's out of CC, the Baron is already gone, and Zeus is running rampant
Oh, time
in
stuck.
the back
My
line.
bad. It's because I
T1
opened
just getting
Discord.
further and further ahead. Guma still doesn't even have boots, by the way, but he does have a Bloodthirster and 3 items.
Okay, yep, Kamushi just having a good time, and he knows that he is not the main character necessarily.
Boom.
He's just been able to sit back. And
It's
he
'cause
takes
of the
himself-
cloud
I think he
Sorry,
forgot
yeah,
boots.
yeah,
No, it's
yeah,
intentions.
Oh, that is true. Everyone's Cassiopeia on T1 now. Be prepared. Everybody else actually bought boots, though, which is a little bit of a shame, not making up for it. The Rebel Baron power play already at 2-2, 2-2. That was actually cool that I looked up at the top there when it was a whole lot of twos.
Nice.
And 1 minute until a potential soul point for both teams. T1 at a 10,000 gold lead, though, or at least very, very close. Should be able to grab advantage and secure that for themselves.
And this is the problem. Once you fall behind against a 1-for-1 comp with a Nocturne, like, what do you do? If you try to collapse, Nocturne presses R, you don't
Faker
know how many
TP.
people are coming, you don't know how many people are responding, and T1
Audio?
are looking for more.
Yep,
What
Shadow
audio?
already taking a bit of poke damage. Light will turn up. As 4 members are here.
Here's the
teleporting.
tower, the shot
Bale
going
puts
in.
it
Oh! Oh! Grand snipes the Senna. Look at the EQ damage, they're just getting melted.
Hostile takeover comes in.
Faker.
But you can't-
They're it's just GG.
Triple kill for
GG. GG.
It might just be the game right here.
Zeus playing like his name
2-0.
God, this guy is going crazy in the finals.
Just extraordinary as Zeus helps clear up this second Nexus turret at T1 at match point already.
And by the end of that game, the kills
Hey, it
were
actually feels so
one to
easy for them.
14.
It feels so one-sided.
That was a little bit
Wow.
even more one-sided than the last game.
Man, it's just rough.
T1 really
It's just rough for Weibo.
on the back of Zeus, the man who has
The
been
Cagel jinx
performing
is real.
less
He
good, I
hyped
should
up the
say,
shy
in
too
Some
much.
of these finals in the past really showing up here today. This is exactly
But honestly,
what
I'm
we've
happy.
been touting
I
for this
don't
guy
want
for
DRX
so long.
incident to ever happen
But
again,
T1 are
where a
one game
random
away
team
from
just wins
clinching their
worlds.
fourth world's title. But before
And I
we
mean
get
no
into break,
offense, but
let's
it's
have a
just
look.
genuinely how I feel. Okay. Okay, now I need to check new champion abilities, yeah?